Welcome to the RNG crew, leaders call, mastermind meeting, whatever you guys want to call it. Coach Chaz here. Appreciate you guys taking the time out of your evening to be here on the live call, or if you're watching the recording. I like to keep these short, but they never run short. They always go long because I like to talk. So congratulations for sticking the way through this marathon. Jose is all about that, right?
Yeah, right.
So we're going to dive straight in real quick. This is going to be, a shout out of the week, if you want to call it that, is going out to Heather, because not only does she post that she brought in her first paycheck, she just posted inside the group she sold her first challenge pack, which is huge.
Awesome.
Give it up to Heather. You rocked it. Nice work.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
I'm pumped.
I'm going to put up gallery view so I can see everybody. There we go. All right. So congratulations to Heather. I sent you guys, anytime I've had people call me out on this, anytime somebody posts something incredible or great, I'm going to shut the blinds behind me, not because I care what anyone else thinks, but because it bugs me. Okay. All I can see is a blinding light. So I've had people that will post incredible things like a first paycheck or they lost this many pounds and blah, blah, blah. And they'll see me like it, but I typically don't comment. And a lot of people have been like, you're the coach. How come you're not supporting that person? They get a direct text from me, if not a phone call, because I'm all about one-on-one relationships, right? So keep that in mind. When you guys are building your teams, this is totally off topic what we're going to talk about, but just quick thing I thought of. When you see somebody that needs recognition, take it further than Facebook. Get one-on-one. I don't care if it's a text message, Facebook message, or if you're calling them up. They deserve that one-on-one touch from you because you, as their coach and their mentor, you're the number one person that's going to be their biggest fan, right? So that was just a quick little tidbit. Anyways, diving down the list, we also have Chelsea and Matt who are at Success Club 2 to finish off April, because we're coming up on our final hours in the month. And then I'm finishing up at Success Club 8. I wanted 10, and I'm technically waiting for a challenge pack to come through, but I'm just going to write it off as Success Club 8 for the night, which I'm perfectly happy with. And we're going to kick some ass in May. So moving forward, obviously going into May, I posted that, 18,000 minute video the other night. So thank you guys for watching that. I know that I can ramble on a little bit. I had a lot to talk about as far as time management. So you guys can see that was kind of the overview. So for all of May, especially on our team calls, I'm going to break it down. We're going to figure out what the heck to do, especially for some of the newer coaches in the group. It's a lot of shit to take in. It's like you hit submit and you sign up on this little web page, and all of a sudden you open up this door and walk through like, yes, I finally signed up as a coach. And you go, oh my gosh. There's stuff everywhere. It's like walking into, like a super center or a mall for your first time. There's so much. Where do you even start? Where do you go? Even for those of us who have been signed up for a few years, there's still days where I wake up and I look at my to-do list and I think, where do I even start with this thing? You guys ever made a list of stuff you need to do around the house, like dishes and chores and all this stuff, and you don't even know where to start? Or like, for example, I literally just a few minutes ago, I came from cleaning up my garage, which is a project. I mean, that takes like an hour and a half to clean. So I walked into my garage and it was the same thing. I opened up the door. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do this. Where do I even start? It's craziness in here. It's the same thing with kind of this whole Beachbody thing. So I want to focus on breaking everything down for you guys the best that I do it. If you guys find different methods that works for you, that's fantastic, because we all are going to find different things that work for us. What works for me may not work for half of you. It may not work for any of you, but you're going to find stuff that won't work for anyone else. You find what works for you, but it comes down to you trying it. So everything I'm going to share with you today, I want you to try it. Like I posted, I don't remember if it was a post or comment thread or what we were talking about inside the group, but I said, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to ask you to do stuff that's going to push you out of your comfort zone, because especially if you've been in this thing for more than 3 months and you haven't seen any progress at all in yourself and your business and your life, if you haven't seen any progress at all, it's time to change something. Try something new. If it doesn't work, okay, great. You know not to do that. Try something else. But if every 3 months, every quarter, If you are not progressing in some way, something needs to change. Because if you keep doing the same stuff over and over and over, because it's what you know and it's what you're comfortable with, you're going to get the exact same result over and over and over. This is why every coach, not every coach, but 98% of coaches in this business, they sign up as a coach, maybe they make a few sales and they go dink, and then they stay like this for the rest of their career for 4, 5, 6 years. And they always question, why am I not making any more? Why am I not helping more people? Why am I not growing? And it comes down to they did the exact same thing over and over and over. It's the same reason why I hit diamond rank, because I was trying new stuff and growing and growing and growing. I hit diamond and I thought, ooh, this is great. And then I still did the same stuff over and over and over. So I got the same result year after year. And here I am after 3 years thinking, I'm sick and tired of this. I deserve it and I am worth it to be a Star Diamond coach. And that's why I'm doing stuff that's different, especially with like these little 30-day power focus things we're doing. I love it. So moving forward, who's ready to learn some stuff?
Do it.
Okay, here's the first thing I'm going to say. Everything we're going to talk about is not going to be anything new that you already haven't heard. But what's different is I'm going to take everything that you've learned and I'm going to condense it down into here's what you do every day. And it's not going to be the 3 vital behaviors. I'll mention those a time or two because obviously those are important, but I'm not going to give you the typical just do your 3 vital behaviors type of crap. Let's dive into this. So if you really paid attention inside of the Insanity Bootcamp by Eric Worre, you'll already get an idea of where I'm going with this. The difference is I actually did it today. I did not try it after I heard Eric Worre talk about it in his training video. I thought, wow, that's a great idea. But I never did it. I never tried it. I never got to experience it. I kid you not, I did it today, and I've been more productive today than I have in months. I literally just went downstairs before I finished up one block. You'll understand what I mean by blocks. I finished up one block, went downstairs real quick, and I had like 13 minutes to eat. And Trista's like, hey, do you have time to do this? I said, sorry, I'm still on my block. I have time to eat real quick, and I got to get back upstairs. Because one thing, here's a side tip. You need to create a space that is your business. I don't care if it's doing what I did where I purchased a desk. I got this thing for like $15 at a garage sale. I got a desk. I have my computer on it. I have my little filing system. Everything business related is on my desk. What I have struggled with the most is allowing myself to take my laptop and go plop on the couch. And for whatever reason, it doesn't matter how big my to-do list is. If I sit down on the couch with my computer and try to work the business, something switches where I tell myself, hey, I'm comfortable. I'm on the couch. Let's plug in the Xbox and, play a few rounds of Call of Duty. Let's watch a movie while I try to work. It's just all distraction. I'm trying to multitask to the endless degree. So you guys have notepads, I hope. Have something to take notes with. Whatever I'm going to talk about in the next, I would like to say 20 minutes, but I'm probably going to talk for 45 minutes. If you guys want to hang out that long, great. If not, have a great night. Everything I'm going to talk about, not everything you're going to agree with, not everything you're going to want to try, but I challenge you and I invite you to just try it. Just write everything down that pops out that I say, and you think, wow, that's a good idea. I should try that. Write it down. Not just write it down, but starting tomorrow, May 1st, which is, we all agreed based on this thing right here. I got all your numbers. And I'm looking at these numbers right now, telling you all, those are big goals. And I'm telling you all, those are not going to be easy. You are going to face some shit to get those numbers. Are you willing to surpass whatever shit is thrown your way and get it? Are you ready to put in the work that gets those numbers? It's not easy, but it's worth it. The end result is worth it. So let's dive into this thing. There's going to be 3 main tips I'm going to give you guys based on what I tried out today. And holy crap, I have been literally, I'll show you this real quick. See this list? You guys remember this list that I just realized I did not post? So if you do not have this list, remind me again if I don't tonight to post this so you can have it. Not only did I do my entire main list, look at all that side stuff. That was all done today. And here's the kicker. When I first made this list and I followed it strategically for like 2 or 3 weeks, it took me all day. It took me all freaking day to get this list done without the side stuff. I got all of this done in under 3 hours. Under 3 hours. I told Trista before I came up here, I'm like, why have I not tried this before? I remember Eric Worre talking about it. I remember writing it down and thinking, wow, that's a great idea. I should do that. And I never tried it. It's amazing what happens when you just try stuff. And half the time it's the stuff that we've never even experienced before because we've been too afraid to try it because we're too afraid to step out of our comfort zone to do something different. We're so embedded in our habits and our routines that mentally and just, it's a human part of us. We like to be, we're creatures of habit. It's what we do. We do stuff without realizing it. The funniest thing is earlier I was doing this to-do list. I was like super focused, in depth with what I was doing. And then Trista came up here. She broke my train of thought. I looked at her. When I came back to what I was doing for probably a half hour, I stepped back and went, okay, holy crap. I have been doing a habit of mine that I didn't even catch on to until she broke my train of thought. So I got out of what I was doing. I came back to it and looked at it and went, oh shit, I just broke my own rule. I was doing 3 different tasks at one time. I was listening to a training seminar. I was putting together, what was I putting together? Our new coach basics I'm trying to come up with. I was putting that together. And then I was replying back to messages all at the same time. And it was such a habit that I didn't even realize I was doing it. And so by doing what I'm going to teach you real quick, it can literally change your sense of focus. And this is what it's all going to be about. So tip number 1, breaking down your power hour. Most of us have heard that term by now. If you have not heard what power hour is, this is, if you look at your calendar and you think, I'm going to pull my calendar up because I'm going to show you guys anyways. So if I look at my calendar and I see, okay, between like 2 and 3 o'clock, I have open. I should work my Beachbody business. So you put a block in there saying power hour. But the most difficult part about hearing that term is no one ever talks about what the F they do. They always just say, do a power hour, and they never tell you what to do in it. So you're always left like, okay, I'm sitting in front of my computer. What do I need to do? So let's break that down even further. In your power hour, you need to decide, and this is where I need to flip back on a page. So you guys know I was talking with Blake Warrington, our upline. He was one of the founding coaches of this whole thing. So I was talking with him, and he's kind of the one that inspired me to try this today. So tip number 1 is you need to figure out how many hours per day you can put into this. If it's 1 hour, if it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you need to first, especially if you're writing down notes, which everybody should be, write down how many hours can I commit to this thing per day. Some of you work full-time jobs. Some of you have a family. So you need to just, don't think about the times. Don't think about your morning, afternoon, night. Think about as a whole. How many hours can you spare to build your business? And 1 hour should be minimum. There's coaches that will say you can build this thing in 30 minutes per day. You can get the ball rolling at 30 minutes a day, guys, but for where you're at, the leaders, you guys want to build a business, be ready to put in some hours, put in some work, sleepless nights. You have to stay up late. You have to get up early. You have to make the sacrifices. So for me, on a good day where I'm completely open for Beachbody, if I don't have any massage clients, if Trista's were at work, like today was kind of a perfect day to try this out because Trista was home all day. She was able to watch Ty all day. And I gave her a heads up early this morning. I said, hey, I really want to try this out. And you just need to give me 1 day. I know it's tough, but you need to give me 1 day where you are watching Ty. I usually help out and all that kind of stuff. On a separate note, like if I were to do a personal call, I would say husbands, step up your game if you have babies, get back into it. But so I've been the type of husband and the dad that I want to help raise this child. I don't want to just work all day and not see him at all. So I've been really, really diligent about helping Trista out all day, especially because I'm here. So I told her this morning, hey, I'm going to be trying this out for just today. Today's going to be the first day I'm going to try this out. And I want to teach the team about it tonight and see what my results are like. But I'm going to be up in the office most of the day. I'm going to come down to eat and pee. And that's about it. I said, I'm going to be MIA today. Just treat it like I'm away at work. I said, you're going to have to watch a little guy today. And she said, okay, do what you got to do. So if you have families, you need to kind of do the same thing. You need to lay the ground rules. You need to say, hey, I want to make this business work, and I can only do that with your support. Here's how you can help me. I need this amount of time per day at these hours to work my business. And you guys, that's on you. You need to figure out personal life, how you can make that happen. And you guys, if you're sleeping in, if you're going to bed early, and those are the only times that you have to work your business, get your ass up or stay up. Trust me of all people, I know how freaking amazing that bed feels at 6 a.m., at 5 a.m., at 4 a.m. But if 5 a.m. is the only time you have to work your business, get up, because you're sleeping away your dreams. For every minute you sleep, that's 1 minute less than you have to build your future. So you need to figure out how many hours per day you can put into this thing and write that number down. 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 to 3 hours. That's going to be a great number to start with. Until you create a big income and you can do this full time and put in an 8-hour day like I did today, 1 to 3 hours is a great start. So let's break it down even further. What do you do in that hour? So with that hour, I'm going to try and look at my calendar I did today. I didn't actually count how many hours I put in today. I've been up since 6 and I've been on the go since 7. And even after this call, I have stuff planned until 10. So from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. is my day today. And I'm going to show you guys my whole calendar based on what I was following. So let's just say you only have 2 hours in a day. So when you break this down further from, if you want to call it 2 power hours, if you want to do an AM and a PM, here's how you break it down. You need to decide if you're going to do 2 chunks of 30 minutes. And then obviously that would be like AM, 2 different 30-minute chunks. And then PM, you would do 2 30-minute chunks. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by these. If you can only do 3 blocks, I call them blocks. So if you can only do 3 blocks of 20 minutes in the morning, 3 at night, or if you can do 4 blocks of 15 minutes, AM and PM. So you need to decide where your focus is. That's what those numbers are based on. For myself, I've trained my mind. Well, after today, I realized how much I multitask, which that crap is getting cut out ASAP. If you are really, really, really good at focusing, you can probably do a full hour and not worry about multitasking. You're in this. But if you struggle, kind of like I do, with multitasking, you're trying to do all this stuff at once and you don't get anything done, maybe you should think about doing just a 15 or a 20-minute block at a time. So what you do with these minutes is, let's say you can't focus, right, on one thing at a time without, I've fallen into the trap where I can't even eat a meal without scrolling through Facebook on this thing. Or, I can't go out to dinner with friends without getting this itch, I need to check my phone. I know there's notifications on there. We've all fallen into that trap. So by the end of May, this is why I wanted to focus on time management and focus. By the end of May, we should all have a different mindset. We should all be able to focus on one task until it's complete or until your time is up. So we're going to dive into this more. Let's say you're doing a 20-minute block. You can set a timer. I have my calendar set up to where my, I don't know if you guys can see this too well. Nope. Maybe. Kind of. There we go. So you guys can see all those different appointments I set for myself. I have these set to where if the next one's coming up in 15 minutes, I have it pop up on my phone. So I have my phone next to me and it pops up and says, hey, you have this in 15 minutes. When that time is up, I don't care where I'm at. I simply just close if it's my computer, or I stop what I'm doing. I move on to the next thing. If you guys watch the Darren Hardy seminar I put inside the group the other day, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's getting focused. If you need to set a timer, but you're focused on one task. So you need to decide. Some projects will take 15 minutes, like checking your messages should only take 15, maybe 20 minutes to plow through your inbox. Bigger projects, like today, I was actually putting together our new 8-day training series for new coaches. So I'm putting this layout together. So I had a full 60 minutes blocked off. So for those 60 minutes, I was focused. I did not check my phone. I didn't check messages. I was focused on that 60 minutes. So here's where you can take some notes. You can write down power hour, and these are going to be different type of tasks that you can do. And these are different tasks that I did today. So these are based on what I was talking to Blake about. I'm going to pull up my calendar after this and shout some more out. So first one is social media, follow-ups, inviting and prospecting, blog posts, videos, trainings, and I'm going to pull up my calendar, see if I missed any. So since you guys can't see this too well, I'm just going to tell you what my day looked like from 7 o'clock on. So what I did differently is typically I will block off, I've done this for the last year of my business. I would see that I have like all afternoon open. So I would put from noon to like 4, and I would put blitz day, or I would put focus, or I would put beach body work. And then I would look at my list and I would try my best to work through it. But I got so caught up in multitasking and doing all this kind of stuff at once that by the end of the day, I didn't really accomplish anything. I started a lot of stuff. I never actually finished anything. So the whole point of time management and focus is, number one, figuring out your priorities. You need to figure out how you want to build your business. And a lot of it comes down to recruiting, following up with people you talk to in your inbox. You need to be having constant conversations going on, not necessarily about Beachbody, but you need to be talking to people every single day. So starting at 7 o'clock, I woke up at 6. I did breakfast, coffee, kind of got my mind right, took care of Ty. And then starting at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 8, I put down personal development. So from 7 to 8 o'clock, I am not touching my phone. I'm not touching Facebook. Facebook is closed. Here's a tip for you. Paul and I just had a call yesterday, and the first thing we both did was, hold on, I need to close my Facebook. So whatever task you're doing, your Facebook tab, not just, pull something up in front of it. Your Facebook tab itself needs to be shut down. Your app is not on your phone, because Facebook is the biggest time waster you will ever experience. And a lot of us don't know we're stuck in it. A lot of us don't realize how much time we're wasting, especially those of us who I can only talk about this because I have fallen into the trap. If you're hanging out with family, you should not be on this thing. If you're working business, you're working business. That is blocked off time to work your business, to talk to people, to build your challenge groups, to do whatever you do. But when you're on personal time, when you're on family time, that's family time. You put this thing away. So Facebook, I'm just going to, I'm being blunt and upfront. I can tell you, 30, at least, I don't know where 35 came from. 75% of you are probably wasting time on Facebook, way more than you think you are. So I'm trying to think. I challenge you for one day. If you want to go as far as track it, I challenge you for one day. When you catch yourself scrolling through Facebook, stop. I do it. I literally did it 3 times today that I can think of. 3 times today, I caught myself scrolling because maybe I was in between stuff and I was like, okay, I have a few minutes, scroll, stop. Close it down, look at my list. Where do I need to be right now? That's how intense you need to be with business. Like if you're in this thing as a hobby, you can scroll all you want. You can mess around as all you want. You can treat this like a hobby. That's fine. If you're in this, which you guys are, you're the leaders, you're the business owners, you need to treat it like a business. If you want to be a leader, you need to act like it, right? So starting at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8, personal development. I do not touch anything but my book. I am reading my personal development book, taking notes. 8 o'clock, my next thing pops up on my phone. It says incinerator, which is my P90X3 workout for the day. And it helps out that I have a workout buddy. So he pops over at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so this whole time I'm taking care of Ty. Obviously with the baby, you have to have a little bit of leeway. So I'm taking care of Ty, reading my book, feeding him, and he fell asleep luckily. So I had a full hour to myself. And so at 8 o'clock, I pass him off to Trista because she knows that this part of my business is my workouts. My personal health is part of my business. I am a walking billboard for myself. So 8 o'clock is my workout. And then after that, 8:30 is social media and messages. And here's where I can break this down a little bit more for you. So when I look at social media, and a lot of this stuff I'm actually taking off this list. So again, if I don't post this tonight, someone remind me. When you look at your social media, and I put on here 20 minutes. So for 20 minutes, I am not focused on anything but social media. And for me, when I say social media, that's primarily Facebook and Instagram. Those are kind of the two big ones. So what I'm doing is I do a post on Facebook, and your posts actually consist of more than Beachbody. 1 out of 5 of whatever you post should be Beachbody related. So if you even want to do some homework, you can write this down too. I challenge you to go to your own Facebook page, review the last 20 posts that you've done. If more than 2 out of 5 are Beachbody related, you need to mix it up. Because if somebody goes to your page and all they see is, here's a product, here's my link, blah, 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 blah. If all they see is Beachbody, 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 they know you are selling something. People are not going to connect with you on that level. But if they go to your page and they see, you guys can write these down, motivation, fitness, family, a quote, personal, and fun. I'm going to say those again. Motivation, fitness, family, quote, personal, and fun. This is my personal list. You guys can mix it up however you'd like. So the whole theory behind this is you need to be more than Beachbody. You guys are not just Beachbody. You're not this, walking logo for Beachbody. Beachbody is a part of your life. It's not your life. So you need to determine, what are you besides Beachbody? Maybe you're a student, maybe you're a mother or a father. If you have family is a big one to focus on, especially when you post pictures of your kids. I found out real quick that those get 1,000 likes. I can post the most motivational story in the world and it gets maybe 20. I post a picture of Ty and it's like 100 easy. Because that's what people want to see. They want to see you. Be unapologetically you. If you love shoes, post about shoes. If you love doing hair and makeup, post about that stuff. Post tips about it. Mix it up. Do more than just Beachbody. So when I see this social media post at 9 a.m. or 8:30, I guess put 30 minutes, 8:30 to 9 with social media. So when I see social media, okay, cool. Open up my laptop, open Facebook. What do? I post something on my main page and my like page. Number 2 is I'm keeping in mind that throughout the whole day, I need to post 5 to 7 times. That's generally about the sweet spot as far as how many different posts you do. And I just gave you, 6 different topics to post about. And I literally go through on my list here, which just slid way back here. There we go. I have those listed at the bottom here so I can cross those off. I almost knocked over my coffee cup. Whoops. So 5 to 7 posts. Do you want to do all 5 to 7 of those in a 2-hour gap? No, you want to make sure they're kind of even. So I do like an AM, mid-morning, afternoon, evening, and then at night. So those are like my 6 that I do. And you'll find too, pay attention to your market. Some people are really, really active on your social media in the morning. Some people are really active at night. My following, if you want to call them that, they love to be active at night. For whatever reason, it's like I would love to shut everything off at 8 o'clock and go to bed. But for whatever reason, people on Facebook are like stir crazy from 8 to 10. So 8 to 10 is when I'm on Facebook. That's like my big social media is 8 to 10 p.m. is when I'm doing a lot of interacting with people. So third thing I do, I go to my messages.
My water from in there.
And during my messages, I'm not checking my notifications, even if I see them pop up. Because the first thing that we want to do when we see a notification coming is, ooh, somebody likes me. Click. Right? We want to see what it is. If you want to take it one step further, I challenge you to turn your notifications off. Scary, right? Turn your notifications off if they bug you that much. But when you go in to Facebook, you do your post on your main page and your like page, and you're keeping in mind, I need to post 5 more times throughout the day. Your third thing you do is when you do messages, let's say you have 15 minutes blocked off for your messages. You are only messaging people. And how I do that is I go through and Facebook has this thing where it will list all your conversations, and then you can click on inbox and it will show just your unread messages. So I'll go through all my unread messages. Boom, 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 boom. I go right down the list, and then I go back to the top and see if anyone replied. If no one replied, it's done. That's my messages. I don't sit there and wait for chat boxes to pop up, which is why I don't reply to some people. Not because I'm ignoring anyone, but because I'm physically not looking at my messages at the moment. So when you do your messages, you do your messages, nothing else. Your phone is away from you because you have no business being on your phone unless it's a family member calling for something. You have no business doing anything else but your messages because it's on your focus list. It's on that block. Then we had a doctor appointment today. Ty is 15 pounds and 9 ounces. Holy crap. They grow way too quick. He was born at 6'5". What the hell? So we had a doctor appointment today. That took a couple hours. I got back home by 11. Again, I put social media on there. So I go through the whole process again. I do another post. I check my messages. Those are kind of like my top 2 things I do. Let's see if I have anything else on here. My groups. I completely forgot my groups. These were the notes I was writing down before I started. And should have finished them because I forgot. The other thing when you're doing this is you're doing a post on your Facebook and your like page. You're going through your messages, and then you finish up by going in each of the groups that you are actively participating in. And you go through, like for me, I'm managing a lot of groups. So I go through and I like and comment on everyone's stuff, which is why you guys may have caught on to, especially today, I do stuff in flurries. So people won't see any likes or comments from me, half the day. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, 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 boom. It's because that's in my block. That's my time for Facebook. No other time, unless it's on my calendar. So go through your groups, your messages, and post. Again, I'm going to reiterate the fact that you need to post a variety of stuff, not just Facebook advertising as far as Beachbody. So number 2, any questions so far?
Yeah, actually, do you use Hootsuite at all?
I messed around with Hootsuite. It bit me in the butt one time, and I have a bad taste in my mouth about it. That's me personally. I know a lot of people use it and they have great success. And I would say that if you have a busy schedule, that's probably the best way to do it, is because Hootsuite, if you don't know, is just go hootsuite.com. It's a site that allows you to pre-make, and you can schedule what time your posts are sent out. So you can go into Hootsuite and schedule out all of your posts. Let's say for tomorrow, Friday, you can schedule out all 7 of your posts to come out at certain times, and you don't have to touch it. My mistake was, it was last year during the cruise, I was running a pretty active challenge group, and I had posted like 7 days worth of content and challenges. I got off the cruise. I had no internet connection the whole time. So I got off the cruise, came back, and I found that Hootsuite didn't post anything, and everyone died off. That's why I have a bad taste. But if you have a busy schedule, that might be something to look into, especially if you want to schedule 5 to 7. You have to be actively on your computer or your phone to post 5 to 7 times a day. That doesn't mean you should be allowing yourself to be on Facebook all day. which I've done several times, and I always kick myself in the butt for it. So, log on, do your post, log off. One tip with that too is after you post something, don't stare waiting for likes to come in. For some reason, the human part of our brain is, again, like, ooh, somebody liked it. It's at 10, it's at 20, it's at 30. Like, for whatever reason, we love it. We thrive off of seeing them come in. But here's the thing. If you do a post and shut Facebook down altogether and go do something else, and you come back 2 hours later, the exact same likes are still there. You don't have to sit there and wait for them to come in and check them every single time. This is why I'm such a huge fan of this method, because today I'm usually guilty of checking notifications as they come in. So I'll get like 2 here and 3 here and 1 here. So I'm like, check, 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 check. But what I found today is when I actually followed my schedule, and when I saw a block and it says social media, I'm like, cool, I get to check my Facebook. I open it up and it's like, I have 20 notifications, but I don't touch those first. I do my post, my messages, and my groups. And then I go through my notifications, like and comment back on whatever it is, and then I shut it down based on my schedule. So if you have social media blocked off for 30 minutes, after 30 minutes, you shut it down. Move on. Facebook is not going anywhere. It's still going to be there next time you check it. Those notifications don't disappear after a certain time. So that was at 11 o'clock for an hour. I did social media posts. 12 to 1, I had a Cancun interview with Jason, which is that video I talked about. It's on my Coach Chaz fitness page if you want to check that out. 40 minutes of me just sharing what happened mentally for me to be able to get to Cancun, because people look at the pictures like, oh my gosh, Chaz and Trista went to Cancun. Good for them. They don't see the story behind how we got there. So if you want to see more in-depth details about that, go check it out. Lunch break. Thank God it was lunch break. By that time, I was starving. Today was a full day. This isn't how every day is. Today was simply just to test it out, to share with you guys the importance of doing these focus blocks. So you're basically breaking down your whole Beachbody business into bite-sized chunks. Rather than looking at the full day going, holy crap, where do I start? This is how you do it. You break it down into bite-sized chunks. So I had a lunch break. I had a call, which was a challenge pack follow-up, which is actually turning into 2 challenge packs from one customer simply because I followed up. We talked about it. He said, okay, that sounds like a really good idea. I'll do some research. I sent him information 2 days ago. And I sent him a text last night saying, hey, do you mind if I hop on the phone with you tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Let's talk some more. So I called him up, and 2 challenge packs coming off that one thing because of the follow-up. If you make the mistake of talking to somebody saying, okay, great, we'll talk soon, and then never following back up, you're missing out. So I had a follow-up call that was less than 7 minutes on the phone with this guy. So in 7 minutes, boom, that's probably $120 in commissions. So next up from 2:30 to 3:30 was new coach startup. Again, like I said, I'm putting together this new coach startup. Not necessarily a guide. I'm going to create a video series, but it's going to be an 8-day video series you guys can put new coaches through. And I'm personally going to make the video. If you see a video you would like to redo yourself for your own people so they see you as the leader, that's fantastic. I'm just kind of getting the ball rolling. So for an hour, I did nothing but focus on creating the layout for this. And then tomorrow I have another hour block where I'm actually going to shoot the videos. So for that hour, 2:30 to 3:30, I did nothing but focus on that layout. Facebook was shut down. I wasn't looking at my phone. You guys can see it's a lot about focus, right? And I'm going to say the word focus 1,000 more times in this call because a lot of us don't realize how much we're multitasking until you truly do focus. Because like today, I thought I've been pretty good on time management for the last couple months until today when I taught myself to focus on these one tasks at a time. And I realized I'm looking at trainings and I'm doing this and this and this. And I get a text. I'm, ooh, cool. Someone likes me. I'm going to text back. I was doing all this stuff at the same time. And over the course of like 2 hours, I want to get anything done. But because of today, it's hard to even like look at this schedule right now and think I did all of that today. Most of this was done within like a 3, maybe 4 hour period too. So moving on to 3:30 to 4, another 30-minute block of social media. I went back through my Facebook. I posted, I commented, checked my messages, and I went through my groups. Facebook is shut down. I went to 4 to 5 o'clock was messages and follow-ups. This is going to be the heart and soul of your business. Messages, I'm going to say messages, follow-ups, and invites. This is where you're building your conversations. And not, like I said, not all of them are going to be Beachbody related. You might just be looking at somebody who, you've been watching their Facebook and you just send a message saying, hey, great post you just did. That's it. Or you're connecting with somebody you haven't seen in a while. Hey, how you been? How are the kids? How's the family? Did you ever, buy that car you were talking about last time we spoke? You're just creating conversations because your business is going to be run from your inbox. If your inbox is at 0 and you have 0 conversations going, that's going to reflect in your paychecks. That's going to reflect in your business. If your inbox is constantly flowing, that means you are actively engaging with people. That means you're inviting more people. That means out of those 100 people you invite, boom, you just got a solid 10 people in your business. And all of a sudden, you just made your first $500. How would that feel? I'm going to say this, because if you saw my call I did with Jason earlier, you'll understand my limiting belief has been lifted off. So now I have no BS for limiting beliefs. There is no freaking reason why you cannot make $1,000 in the next month. No reason. I'm just going to put it out there. You may be looking at me like, well, what the heck do you mean? You are the only one holding yourself back from whatever it is you want. Some of it may take more time, may take more skill and effort, but you ultimately are the only one that is creating your own ceiling on your potential. When you learn to break through that ceiling and think $1,000 in the next 30 days, why not? If you guys look at my Cancun story, I needed $1,600 to get down to Cancun. $1,600. I don't make that with Beachbody. I needed $1,600 and we had nothing. We had a tough month. And by the end of a week, at the end of day 7, I made $1,636. How? How did I make that? And it comes down to, I told myself, why not? I've had this limiting belief that I can only make a certain amount because that's all I've known. There's no reason why you cannot make $1,000, $500, $100 in the next week, in the next month, if you just believe that you can achieve it. You don't have to know how. I'll tell you that right now. I didn't know how I was going to make $1,600. That was like, I don't have any Beachbody customers who are like wanting to order right now. My list is at nothing. I didn't know how, but if you believe that you can do it, God and the universe are going to create ways to make it happen. And holy shit, I made it happen in a week. Are you serious? You are the only person holding yourself back from achieving anything you want. You guys are here because you decided, you know what? I want to do something with this and I can do something with this. You guys are the ones that stepped up. But now that you're in the leadership position, you're going to be experiencing stuff like limiting beliefs. It's one thing to be a Beachbody customer who wants to save the 25% so you sign up as a coach. It's another thing to chase your dreams. Because the second you chase your dreams is the second you start to experience doubt and fear and limiting beliefs. But I'll tell you one thing right now, I call bullshit on all of it. Because I called bullshit on myself when I caught myself saying, we don't have $1,600. We can't go to Cancun. I caught myself telling my wife that. After I told her, I will never tell you we can't afford it again. I had to tell her that again. And I saw that look in her eye. I said, done. No, I don't know how, but I'm making this happen. And all of a sudden it happened. It's a limiting belief, guys. So moving forward, I had the Team Fit Revolution call, deep clean my garage. We're on the RNG leaders call right now. After this is trainings. So a lot of us are inside of It Starts with Diamond. I do a lot of self-research on YouTube. So go to YouTube, and whatever type of education you think you need, look it up on YouTube. There's seminars on it. It's funny. 90% of my knowledge comes from YouTube. It's kind of crazy to say, like, I would have a friggin' master's degree in YouTube education if they offered such a thing. I graduated from high school. 30 days later, I went to massage school for 1 year. After that, I went through a 4-month personal training certification. That's it. That's the extent of my education. I never went to a full college. I never even started like a real college. I just went to massage school and personal training. That's it. All my education came from self-research because I have learned to be self-driven enough that I want to learn about certain things like leadership, talking to people, being a better communicator, motivational speaking. I learn about this stuff because I want to learn it. So I make it happen. A lot of people sign up as a coach and they're thinking, well, my coach doesn't give me this or they don't teach me this. Get off your ass and learn it. We have unlimited resources here in the internet world, right? We're all in different states, in different parts of this friggin' country, and we're all pulled together on the same conversation. These interwebs are pretty cool if you actually like look into it. So trainings, for example, earlier I was watching some more Darren Hardy. If you want some names, Darren Hardy, Jim Rohn. You can look up all kinds of awesome people on there, guys. If you need to learn how to have better self-confidence, look up seminar on self-confidence, seminar on overcoming doubt, seminar on being a better speaker, overcoming objections. These are things you guys can learn about. People ask me how I have such a visionary, strong mindset. It's because I listen to this stuff all day. I have conditioned my mind to work this way. I don't accept failure. I don't accept quitting. I struggle and I fall and I fail, but I get my ass back up and move forward because I've conditioned my mindset to be this way. So from 8 to 9 tonight, that's not going to happen because I'm going over 8 o'clock right now. But from 8 to 9, I had blocked off trainings. So that's when I would take my time to check back in with It Starts with Diamond. I'll go through all the trainings they posted today. And then 9 o'clock to 9:30, we're all going to start that team challenge group on Monday. I'm going to do another post in the group after this so we can all vote on what type of challenge, like squat, push-up, clean eating, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to start. I'm going to put the layout together for that. And then 9:30 to 10, I'm going to finish my vision board, which I should just realize that's going to tomorrow because I'm out of ink and Staples is closed. So that's going to tomorrow. I'll find something else put in there. So you guys can see that's my day. That's a lot of stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is not how your day should look. If you have the time to do full time, make your days look like that. But for the average person, you guys, you work, you have family, you don't have time to do what I did today. I did this today because I wanted to show not just you guys, but I wanted to prove to myself what I can do with small, focused blocks. And that's what this whole time management thing is about. That's what you saw me post about when I said, hey guys, I'm trying something out today. This is what I did. For one day, I told myself no multitasking, no wasting time, no scrolling through Facebook mindlessly, no multitasking. That was just my biggest thing I've been struggling with is multitasking. I cut it out for today. And guess what? Today, I finished my epically long list. And you know what the crazy part is? I had fun doing it. I enjoyed the journey. This didn't feel like work today. I'm not closing down my laptop after I talk to you guys going, oh, I'm done. What a long day. Yeah, it's been a long day, but this is what us coaches do. This is why we love Beachbody. We love this work. You learn to enjoy the journey and learn to love the grind. Today was a grind, guys, and I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it. Because this is what I want to do with my life, is to help other people via Beachbody and what we do here. So as far as, let's see what else I had written down. Focus plus and tasks. So now to open this up to all of you guys. I know I covered a lot of stuff. This was a lot that I did today, but as far as time management and focus, it's easy to get overwhelmed. I know that's one of the biggest issues we all have is we look at all this stuff we can do and we look at the back office. We get so overwhelmed that we step back and don't do anything. It's easy to do that. I've been there several times, which is why I want to create something like this. So what you can do each day, is starting, I know I put that on here. So it all comes down to you need to take all this stuff I talked about. And I said this in the beginning. You need to take everything I talked about. You need to make your list. You need to decide how much time you can put in each day. This is just what I've done. This is my schedule. You guys all have different schedules. So your biggest ones are going to be, again, social media and on Facebook and Instagram. And I forgot to cover Instagram. Real quick, this one's simple. When I go to Instagram, again, Facebook is shut off. You guys notice I say Facebook is shut off a lot because that's been my biggest distraction. I know it's probably your guys's too. Shut Facebook off if you are not on there to work. If you are taking an off day, like I take Sundays off, so I scroll through Facebook all day long because it's in my schedule, I can. But if I'm scrolling through Facebook and I look down, I'm like, oh, I was supposed to be messaging people right now. Whoops. That's wasted time. That's my dreams just going down the drain. So Instagram is simple. Open up my phone, go to Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, get it because it's awesome. I go through and at the top, you can search for people or hashtags. What you're going to do is search for hashtags. Here's where you're going to search non-Beachbody things. Non-Beachbody things. I'll give you guys an example. So I went into Instagram earlier because it was on my block of social media. I finished all my Facebook stuff first because that's way bigger than Instagram. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go on to Instagram. And the whole point of what we do is to find new people and current people and to be interacting with them, right? We need to engage with them. So eventually we can teach them what we have to offer. So I go into Instagram, I go into search, and then I go over to hashtags. And these were the ones that I searched today. I searched hashtag happiness, life adventurer, live, laugh, love, and hiking. Because those are non-Beachbody hashtags that I use. And I want to find people that are like me, right? You know, I'm not going to go search, I don't know, cheerleader pumps or whatever those things are called. I'm not going to search for crap that I don't care about because I'm going to attract people that I'm not going to get along with. I've done that in the past and it's ended badly each time. You want people in your life that are like you. So when you're searching for new people, search for people that are like you, that have the same interests, that have the same hobbies and activities. So you can, hashtag bowling, hashtag, I don't know, cliff diving if you're a base jumper or something. But I go in here, for example, I'll just tap on happiness real quick. So I don't know if you guys can see this. All these people have used, these are different accounts. All these people have used hashtag happiness. So I go and click. And then I go on to their profile. So now all of a sudden I see this and I'm looking thinking, okay, this looks like a good thing. I would look at these photos and like these. So I follow them first. I go through and like 2 or 3 of their pictures and I comment on one. That's kind of like the first introduction. And then as you guys start to like and comment on each other's stuff, you build that relationship. And it just all funnels down into eventually they join your Facebook, they see what you're about. And then if Beachbody can help them in some way, you're the person to introduce them to it. So that's 1. I do 10. I do that 10 times. Every time I put a social media block 3 or 4 times on my phone, on my calendar, every time I do a social media power hour or a power 30 minutes or power 15, whatever you want to call it. So if I only have 15 minutes and I don't have anything else to do on Facebook, I open up my phone right away and say, okay, I have 15 minutes. I need to hashtag and search for things that I'm interested in. and I need to like, follow, and comment on 10 different people's profiles. And that's how you build your Instagram account. So now I have covered Facebook, Instagram. YouTube is a whole nother story on doing videos, which I have that on my list. We're going to do a team call on that. Aside from that, it's pretty simple. I know I talked for an hour on this stuff, but you can break it down to a very simple process so you don't get overwhelmed. You guys notice not one time did I mention 3 vital behaviors? Not one time. Because we focused on 3 vital behaviors all of April. It's non-negotiable. You should be doing your workouts in Shakeology. You should be doing your personal development, and you should be inviting on a daily basis. Non-negotiable. If you don't start with those 3 things, the business is going to fail you. Actually, I should say you fail the business, because the business works if you follow the patterns that have already been done. So your 3 vital behaviors come first. Second is you look at your day. You tell yourself, okay, I can put in 30 minutes here, and I can put in an hour here, maybe AM and PM. 30 minutes in the morning, 1 hour at night. And then you take those blocks and you ask yourself, okay, what can I do in that time that's going to benefit me? I just gave you guys everything you can do, literally. So you look at, okay, I have 30 minutes. What can I do in the morning that's going to help me out? I can do 15 minutes of social media, and I can do 15 minutes of sending out messages to people. And you set goals. So for messages, if you only have 15 minutes to do messages, set a goal to send out 10 messages to 10 people. Again, they don't have to be Beachbody. They can be about anything. You're just starting the conversation. Literally 15 minutes. You can take 1 hour. If you only have time to work this thing 1 hour per day, you can take 15 minutes in the morning, mid-morning, afternoon, and night. There's your power hour right there. 15-minute focuses. And for those 15 minutes, you are doing nothing but your task. Focus. That's what we're focusing on for this month. Focus. I told you guys earlier, I was going to ask you to do things that are going to challenge you. They're going to push you out of your comfort zone. It's going to ask you to do things you've never done before. This is one of them. So here's your call to action. Here's your homework. By the end of tonight, if you're watching the live recording, by the end of tonight, live recording, that doesn't make any sense. If you're watching the live call, by the end of tonight, which is Thursday, I want you to comment below. When I post the recording to this, I want you to comment below how many hours on average. Each day is different, I get that. But on average, how many hours per day can you put in? And then number 2 is, what tasks are you going to do in that time? So if you only have 2 hours you can put in each day, that's great. But specifically, what tasks are you going to do? What are you going to do on social media? Again, blog posts. Today wasn't a blog post day or a video day. I could have done a blog post and a video on top of everything I did today, but quite frankly, I'm exhausted. I had a blast doing it, but I'm tired. That was a long day. So blog posts, social media, videos. Videos are so easy, guys. Shout out to Matt, who posted a 27-second video, and he was at the park with his kids, and he did his P90X workout right there, and he told everyone on video, 27 seconds, no excuses, step up. If he inspires one person that decides, I want to do P90X, that's a $60 commission in 27 seconds. Think about that. 27-second video can be a $60 commission. Is that worth it to you to put out a 27-second video? That's all it takes. If you can do videos in under a minute, you just get on there. You can talk about motivation. You can talk about your struggles, which I can promise you, if you be real with people and talk about your struggles and how you overcome them, people love those videos. You can do a check-in with how your fitness went that day. You can do a quick clip of you doing a few workout moves. People love that stuff. It takes less than a minute, and the return on it can be more than you think. That's all I've got for you guys tonight. we'll open this thing up for Q&A because I know I talked a lot about like time management and all that stuff. So if you have any specific questions about what I talked about or time management in general, believe it or not, there's actually several things I did not talk about that because we don't have time. I don't want to keep you guys on here for 2 hours. But next week, I'm going to talk even more about time management. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves and ask away. Or just give me a thumbs up if you're good to go.
You're good, man.
Cool. Everyone seems happy. Hopefully that helped clear some stuff up as far as like how to do this thing and what direction to go through. Because it's a lot. I know it's a lot to take in. It's tough to be in a business. It's tough, especially when you want to build it to a point where you don't have to work anymore, or you want to bring your spouse home. It's going to take work, way more than people think. You're gonna. Chelsea, I commented on your post earlier, and you fell back on rank, right? Went from emerald to coach. Yeah, it friggin' sucks. And then I commented. I told you. I have lost diamond rank 8 times. I could have easily quit after the first time. I could have just thrown in the towel and said, screw it. I worked my ass off to get diamond and I just lost it. I could have easily quit. But I got back up. I looked at where I was at and said, what do I need to do to get it back? I did it. Time 2. Boom. Fell off. What do I need to do to get it back? I did it. Boom. 3, 4, 5, 6. I got back up 8 freaking times. 8 freaking times. Every single time I got knocked down. That's the type of resilience you need to have in the business, because it's going to happen to you at one point or another. It may not be losing rank in diamond or emerald, but something is going to happen that can knock you off, that can keep you down. But as long as you have that mindset of getting back up and keep pushing forward because you want this that bad, that's what it takes. 110%. Oh, I guess 100%. You can't really go 110. I've always loved that. I've always said 110, but it makes no sense. So aside from that, I appreciate you guys taking time to watch this, whether it be the live call or the recording. Again, for those of you watching the live call, by the end of tonight, wait till I post the recording to this so you can comment under it with how many hours on average you can put in per day. Or if you want to be specific and say Mondays I can do 30 minutes, Tuesdays I can do 2 hours. Like if you want to break it down into a schedule, great. I'm a big fan of having a business schedule. And then break down what type of activities you can be doing. If you want to do YouTube videos, start doing YouTube videos. If you want to do blog posts, start a blog. If you want to do something, do it. Don't put it off. It doesn't matter how much you think you suck, because we all suck when we first do something. The first time you ever got up to walk as a baby, you sucked at it. But you got back up and kept doing it. You got better, and look at you now. You can walk. Same exact thing as any of these activities in our business. You're going to suck. So what? Get back up and do it again. This has been Coach Chaz. Peace out, crew. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'll see you later.
Later. Good night.
See ya.